We're going to study a little bit about the internet, and I know most of you guys were born way after the dot-com era, but just to give you an idea of what the internet is, it's probably the most powerful tool in the world, in human history. And I say that because information has passed. It has hurt us, it has helped us, and it has informed us, okay? Because you put some information in the hands of the wrong people, a lot of problems can happen, as you can see what's happening in the world. You guys are going to be graduating and entering into a world where pretty much is going to be chaotic. But I believe you guys can really fix things as much as possible. Okay, the notes within are going to be in a future exam, most likely this week. So let's go ahead and open up right here where it's set the slides and watch as much as possible. But at the same time, okay, right click, open a new tab. Let me do this. Okay, now you have a choice. I would recommend opening up the notes. So please take the notes. You notice everything's color-coded. Once we are done with the 30 notes, that's the class. But you guys got to pay attention. All right, here we go. I got two people here who thinks the Raiders are going to win the Super Bowl. Right. Okay. All right, here we go. Sorry about this. I'm kind of getting a little lost here. All right, the first thing, the word internet stands for internetwork. Okay, so if you can copy this, okay, go up to here and put down internet, okay, stands for inter and network, okay? So put a space there. It's basically a connection of computers, okay? I'll make this bigger for you. Okay, and it is extremely powerful. Back in the 90s, when I just started my career. I have a degree in biology, by the way, and so I left doing cancer research and HIV research, and I decided to go into internet. And it was probably one of the best decisions I made. And so all the reason why you should follow your passions and your dreams. Okay, because even though doing cancer and HIV research is very, very important and very powerful, you need to do what you want to do, okay? So following the internet, I went up to the Bay Area, and there's so much money to be made, a lot of money. And so that's how I made a lot of my money is during this time. So now I play the stock market like crazy, which is kind of scary. All right, and if anybody wants to know about that, let me know. So internet means internetwork, okay? Internetwork, and I'll separate it by semicolon. All right. So now let's go on to slide number 2. It's a community of computers talking to each other, or a connection of computers. Even your computers here are connected with each other. You're also connected to the computer in China. Okay, you're also connected to the computer in Russia. Okay, so you're also connected to all the iPhones, all the Androids. Okay, and if there's such a thing left, also all the Blackberries. All right? All right? Okay, wake up. The worst thing you can do is sleep in my class. You don't want to do that. All right, so let's do this. Now, next thing you want to do is this one. Okay, write this down. Charles Babbage, the founder of the modern computer. And this is what he made, the difference machine. Now here's the thing, okay, you can try to write this down as much as you can, but I'm not asking you to handwrite it, okay? If you want to handwrite this, you're welcome to. If you need a sheet of paper and pencil, I have it, okay? But it might be better for you to type it. And don't worry, I don't mark for spelling, because I'm a lousy speller myself. But Babbage, founder of the modern computer, basically, he created this to do simple addition and subtraction. All this, whoops. All right, and we are going to, bless you. So let's just write that down, okay? I'm going to keep this here. Okay, so you want to write this down, Babbage. Come on, type. Okay. All right, so any questions so far? Anything that to repeat? All right, so this, and the computer he created was called the difference machine. Which algorithm is synonymous to difference? Come on, minds of tomorrow. This is for extra credit. No. Anybody? Huh? He gets it. My sleeping guy got it. Okay, the difference machine, subtraction. Good job. What's your name? Send me an email. You'll get extra credit. Okay, subtraction. So basically, people need computers to do their math, figure out their accounting, figure out all that fun stuff. Today we have QuickBooks and we have Excel. We have all the fun stuff. But this is what they got. You can fit this thing into a Starbucks pretty much wherever it is. This is big enough to fit inside a Starbucks. Can you imagine this? This is your entire room. And I heard it gets so hot in there. It's kind of crazy. But at any rate, these are other math things that they use. Of course, don't forget the scale. Anybody ever use any of this stuff here? Okay. By the way, here's a Nobel Prize winner. Just kidding. Can anybody pick a word here? Can you find a word here? Loser. Prices. They say the first word that you find kind of describes who you are. I'm sure that's not... I'm sorry. What I meant to say is the first word you find is the opposite of what you are. Much better, huh? Okay. All right, let's watch this. Anybody remember Alan Turing? Okay, so for this one, you want to go ahead and finish up the rest of the gray area. Let's watch the video, please. Can't watch the video. I swear I never understood. Okay, this is only 3 minutes long, so take notes, okay? And by the way, when you watch videos in this class, you always want to click on the CC button right there, okay? Want to change the setting? No, we're good. Okay, so you kind of want to watch that, so let's go ahead and watch it. Okay, so put down, he is the father of artificial intelligence. This man here is the father of AI. That's the only thing that you need to remember, okay? He's not the father of, he might be the father of modern computing, but does anybody know what he did, what he's famous for? Okay, let's just finish up and I'll tell you. Okay, this is what he's famous for. His work was to break the code of the German army's Enigma machine. So what happened was that back in World War II, that's during the 40s, the Germans would use secret code, and known as Enigma. And that's how they would communicate with each other to do the war. He developed a machine that broke the code. He was able to find it, figure it out. So he is credited for saving 4 to 5 million lives. Okay, so and what happened to him later on is a tragedy. So he may have shortened World War II by years. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say 5 million lives? I meant 21 million lives. So 21 million lives, and this is the machine that he used. I wish, maybe I'll try to find a way to show that movie, which was a groundbreaking movie, and we'll see. So because he was gay, which was a crime back then, and he had to be banished, and unfortunately, but he was posthumously overturned. He was given a free, whatever. They took that away from him. Because of that, he committed suicide. But he was pardoned by the Queen Elizabeth. So he introduced the concept of algorithm. That's the last thing you need to write down. If you don't have 5 in the gray area, write down that he came up with a concept of algorithms, which is what Google uses right now to do search engines. Okay? So we'll watch the rest, but you don't have to take any more notes if you have 5. If you went into the pink area, just leave it alone.
So the idea Alan Turing had
we're not going to listen to this guy. So just a little hint. Okay, I'm just telling you right now. If you want to become rich by playing the stock market, okay, invest in all AI companies. I'm telling you this. Google, Apple, all those people. All right, so let's go on to the next one. This is Alan Turing. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Now let's go ahead and watch this. This time you got to take 15 notes. Okay? You two gentlemen, you guys in the corner there. Can you guys turn off one or two lights, please? I would appreciate it. Just 1 or 2. One more. Okay, that's good. All right, so here's the thing. Take 15 notes, please. If you need me to repeat, I will be happy to do that.
Slack is kind of like the backbone of how we communicate. It's signable. I love using clips. In a data team.
Hi, how are you doing?
So this is called the history of computing.
Hi, thanks for tuning into Singularity Prosperity. This video is the first in a multi-part series discussing computing, and this video will be discussing the evolution of computing, more specifically, the evolution of the technologies that are brought upon the modern computing era. The purpose of this video is so we can appreciate how fast technology is evolving and the people who have brought us to this point. Many inventions have taken several centuries to develop into their modern forms, and modern inventions are rarely the product of a single inventor's efforts. The computer is no different. The bits and pieces of the computer, both hardware and software, have come together over many centuries, with many people and groups each adding a small contribution. We start as early as 3000 BC with the Chinese abacus. How is this related to...
Okay, 3000 BC, the abacus, A-B-A-C-U-S. 3000 BC, made in China. The abacus, that is the first ever math calculator. A-B-A-C-U-S. Abacus. Okay, so A-B-A-C-U-S. You guys all played with this when you were babies. Up and down, you know? Okay, abacus, 3000 BC. Okay, extra credit. Who knows what BC stands for? Really? Are you sure? Okay, who I heard it from here? Alright, I heard it from you. Did you say the pork roast? Okay, we go for the abacus.
Computing, you ask? The abacus was one of the first machines humans had ever created to be used for counting and calculating. Fast forward to 1642, and the abacus evolves into the first mechanical adding machine, built by mathematician and scientist Blaise Pascal. This first mechanical calculator, the Pascaline, is also where we see the first signs of time.
Okay, Pascal, P-A-S-C-A-L, Pascal.
Evolves into the first mechanical
machine is
adding
called
machine,
Pascal.
built by mathematician and scientist.
There it is, P-A-S-C-A-L. Pascal, the first ever. Yes, sir. Uh-oh, you can't get it?
He's so scary.
All right, everybody, we're going to continue. All right, Pascal. Anybody know the Pascal programming language?
Blaise Pascal. This first mechanical calculator, the Pascaline, is also where we see the first signs of technophobia emerging, with mathematicians fearing the loss of their jobs due to progress. Also in the 1600s, from the 1660s to the early 1700s, we meet Gottfried Leibniz, a pioneer in many fields, most notably known for his contributions to mathematics and considered by many the first computer scientist. Inspired by Pascal, he created his own calculating machine, able to perform all 4 arithmetic operations. He was also the first to lay down the concepts of binary arithmetic, how all technology nowadays communicates, and even envisioned a machine that used binary
don't worry
arithmetic.
about this guy.
From birth, we are taught how to do arithmetic in base 10, and for most people that's all they are concerned with, the numbers 0 to 9. However, there are an infinite number of ways to represent information, such as octal as base 8, hexadecimal as base 16 used to represent colors, base...
This guy's going way too fast. How do you slow it down? Like here? But it's going to go forever, though.
Base 256, which is used for encoding. The list can go on. Binary is base 2, represented by the numbers 0 and 1. We'll explore later in this video why binary is essential for modern computing. Back on topic. Progressing to the 1800s, we were met with Charles Babbage. Babbage is known as the father of the computer, with the design of his mechanical calculating engines. In 1820, Babbage noticed that many computations consisted of operations that were regularly repeated, and theorized that these operations could be done automatically. This led to his first design, the difference engine. It would have a fixed instruction set, be fully automatic through the use of steam power, and print its results into a table. In 1830, Babbage stopped work on his difference engine to pursue his second idea, the analytical engine. Elaborating on the difference engine, this machine would be able to execute operations in non-numeric orders through the addition of conditional control, store memory, and read instructions from punch cards, essentially making it a programmable mechanical computer. Unfortunately, due to lack of funding, his designs never came to reality, but if they had, would have...
What? I'm going to tell you what to write. Don't worry about it. No, you don't have to write down everything. I'm not that cruel. Okay.
sped up the invention of the computer by nearly 100 years. Also worth mentioning is Ada Lovelace, who worked very...
Okay, Ada Lovelace, get ready. ADA, Lovelace. ADA, Lovelace.
Closely with Babbage. She is considered the world's first programmer and came...
She is the world's first programmer, and she is a woman. She is the world's first programmer. Yeah, go ahead.
Came up with an algorithm that would calculate Bernoulli numbers that was designed to work with Babbage's machine. She also outlined many fundamentals of programming, such as data analysis, looping, and memory addressing. 10 years prior to the turn of the century, with inspiration from Babbage, American inventor Herman Hollerith designed one of the first successful electromechanical machines, referred to as a census tabulator. This machine would read U.S. Census data from punch cards up to...
Okay, so write this down, please. This is important. There he is right there. Herman Hollerith. Herman. Just put Herman. Herman Hollerith. He designed the punch machine, the way to, like the elections. What do you call those things?
Designed one of the first successful electromechanical machines.
Electromechanical machines, don't worry about it.
Census tabulator.
Census, that's right, they count people. Pretty soon, when you guys turn 18, you'll be having to answer the census. And if you don't, they knock on your door. Just like the tax man.
This machine would read U.S. Census data from punch cards, up to 65 at a time, and
so basically, okay, so this is what he does. He reads punched cards. Okay, so back in the day, you guys listen up. Angel, listen up. Punch cards. Okay, it reads punch cards. That's it.
Of the results, Hollerith's tabulator became so successful he went on to found his own firm to market the device. This company eventually became IBM.
There you go. This guy is a founder. Hollerith is a founder of IBM. What is IBM's nickname? Extra credit. Anybody know IBM's nickname? You guys could Google it. No. That's what it stands for. Nickname for IBM. Huh? Did you say Big Blue? You got it right. Send me an email. Big Blue, that's right.
To briefly explain how punch cards work, essentially once fed into a machine, an electrical connection is attempted to be made. In 1936, Alan Turing proposed a 1936 logic that results in either a true or false output, or one corresponding to binary, 1 or 0. We'll be diving into Boolean logic deeper later in this video. Zeus would later use punch cards to encode information in binary, essentially making them the first data storage and memory devices. In 1942, with the computer the Z4,
don't worry about any of this, guys.
Also released the world's first, and in collaboration with IBM, began work on the Harvard Mark I calculating machine, a programmable calculator, and inspired by Babbage's analytical engine.
This computer is equivalent to what you see in front of you.
1 million parts, had over 500 miles of wiring, and weighed nearly 5 tons. The Mark I had 60 sets of 24 switches for manual data entry and could store 72 numbers, each 23 decimal digits long. It could do 3 additions or subtractions in a second, a multiplication took 6 seconds, a division took 15.3 seconds, and a logarithm or trig function took about 1 minute. As a funny side note, one of the primary programmers of the Mark I, Grace Hopper, discovered the first computer bug, a dead moth blocking one of the reading holes of the machine. Hopper is also credited with coining the word debugging. The vacuum tube era marks the beginning of modern computing, the first technology that was fully digital, and unlike the relays used in previous...
Okay, write this down. Okay, I'll put it on the thing. Okay.
Hey everybody, this is Mr. Haig. So again, this is
Hey,
kind
I don't want to hear
of an
myself.
unusual way to teach on video, but I think it's very convenient. So if I had edited correctly, if I had edited this video correctly,
Where's that coming from?
Lower left. But what you see behind me is the screen that I'm looking at right now. So this.
Okay, sorry, I don't. All right, so what was that thing? It's the wrong one. Okay, the tube, the cathode ray tube, okay, first generation, the vacuum tube, okay? So the vacuum tube, I'm going to put this in here, okay, vacuum tube. Now again, I don't expect you to understand this, but the vacuum tube was the first digital instrument. Okay, in other words, everything was done manually, but this was the first digital that did it automatically, okay? First digital instrument. And you guys obviously nowhere's near old enough, but I unfortunately am. I remember the tubes that was used for the television. Okay, so you can ask your grandparents, okay, if they know what a cathode ray is, or the old TV that they use tubes. That's what they did, the vacuum tube. Okay, so that's the extent of my knowledge about that. But that's all I want you to do.
The vacuum tube era marks the beginning of modern computing, the first technology that was fully digital, and unlike the relays used in previous computers, were less power-hungry, faster, and more reliable. Beginning in 1937 and completing in 1942, the first digital computer was built by John Atanasoff and his graduate student Clifford Berry. The computer was dubbed the ABC. Unlike previously built computers like those built by Zeus, the ABC was purely digital. It used vacuum tubes and included binary math and Boolean logic to solve up to 29 equations at a time. In 1943, the Colossus was built in collaboration with Alan Turing to assist in breaking German crypto codes, not to be confused with Turing's Bombay that actually solved Enigma. This computer was fully digital as well, but unlike the ABC was fully programmable, making it the first fully programmable digital computer. Completing construction in 1946, the electrical numerical integrator and computer on a much larger scale, bringing clarity to the idea of computer memory and addressing. He elaborated on conditional.
And that, in fact, is the thing which makes the modern computer revolution possible.
At this point, you can see that computing had officially evolved into its own field, from mechanical to electromechanical relays that took milliseconds to digital vacuum tubes that took only microseconds. From binary as a way to encode information with punch cards, to being used with Boolean logic and represented by physical technologies like relays and vacuum tubes, to finally being used to store instructions and programs. From the abacus as a way to count, to Pascal's mechanical calculus.
Let's just stop right there because this is too much. Let's go ahead and see what this one says.
So that's how they're growing so fast. They're hiring freelancers. Look what they're doing with AI experts.
Internet browsing online influences took another 60 years of the concept of stored information, which further established the communication model between computers. The first email was sent in 1979 by programmer Ray Tomlinson.
Okay, 1971. Write this down. Okay, 1971. Okay. Okay. Ray, whoops, what the heck? I forget what the hell. Ray Tomlinson created the email. Okay.
He's also responsible for the use of the @ sign to separate the email address from the provider name. ARPANET took over TCP on January 1, 1983, which is considered the official birthday of the Internet. The invention of DNS, the common use of TCP, and the use of email was a quick consequence of the growth of activity on the Internet. However, advanced computer skills were still required to access the system and use it effectively. So, the solution came from a British computer scientist named Tim Berners-Lee. He invented the World Wide Web in 1989. Came from a British computer scientist named Tim Berners-Lee.
Okay, Berners-Lee, Bernersly, invented the World Wide Web. Okay? He invented the WWW, the World Wide Web, the Internet. He invented it. Okay, one of the history's most amazing accomplishments. Okay, so you will be tested on this one. I'm going to put this video on this one. You'll only be required to study this video. Okay. Mosaic, this one right here, is the world's first search engine. Okay, MOSAIC. It's the world's first search engine. Okay, so if you didn't get all the, let's go on to the next one, next section. All right, so let me see what else I have here for you. Okay, so
time. However, in 1994,
this is the first major browser. Okay, this was called Netscape, not Netflix, Netscape, Netscape. So I'll write it up here, Netscape. Okay, that was the very first. It's actually called Netscape Navigator, and so this is the first ever browser. I don't know if it's still around. Let's take a look for it. Nope. So anyways, yeah, Netscape was the first major browser, and they would charge you $20 to use it. So in other words, you had to buy it for $20. Now we got Safari, you got Chrome, but eventually Internet Explorer took over, and they offered it for free, so that killed Netscape. And then, of course, Chrome killed Internet Explorer. Firefox killed Internet Explorer, and then Chrome killed Firefox. Safari has been able to survive it all. Okay. In 1992, there were only 10 websites in the world. 1992, there were only 10 websites in the planet. Bless you.
Imagine a bunch of dots floating in space. See how static and isolated they are. This is what
Internet browsing online, the most popular search engine for video content in the world. 2 years later, the number of sites reached 2,738. And in 1996, there were over 100,000 websites. In 1998, the one that will become the most popular search engine to date, Google appears.
1998, Google first appears. 1998, Google first appears. Okay, 1998, Google first appears.
However, technological progress and the emergence of many companies in the internet field, such as Apple, Microsoft, and Yahoo, led to the development of a speculative bubble. Thus, between 1997 and 2000, the dot-com bubble developed, which led to a strong increase in the economic values of internet-related companies, ultimately bringing about the bankruptcy of a large number of companies. After the collapse of the internet bubble emerged Web 2.0, an internet with emphasis on social networks and user-generated content and cloud computing. The Facebook, as the social media platform was originally called, was born in 2004.
Facebook, born in 2004. Okay, here's a quick extra credit question. Which was the major social media platform before Facebook? Lupe, say that again. MySpace. MySpace. Lupe, send me an email. Huh? MySpace, they should. I don't know why they don't, but I think they should because that's such a pioneering platform, but they should have. I remember MySpace, I used to build MySpace websites, but it was mostly for musicians, and I had a lot of music clients back then, but it was very hard. It was really, you had to know programming, whereas Facebook, you just know how to write. So.
And a year later, YouTube was launched.
2004, YouTube was launched. Huh? A year later? Okay, it's 2005. Sorry, you're right. Thank you. 2005, YouTube. Okay, and it was basically two people, a bunch of guys about your age that just wanted an easier way to exchange funny videos. That's all they wanted to do, was to find a way to exchange videos. And now here they have it. Extra credit. How much did YouTube sell to Google? 1.5. Is that a guess or is that truth? More than that, bro. Why are you guessing? 1 point what? Email. 1.65 billion, which is a steal.
Most popular search engine for video content at the time. Thus, the emergence of social networks such as Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram created a new world and became some of the most popular sites.
Let's go to the next one. Okay, so we talked about this, we did this, that was a disaster of a video. So here's the evolution of the computer. Okay, these guys did not. I repeat. Anybody know who this is? Who are these? What's the names? Okay, one of them is Steve Jobs. The other? Huh? Okay, you two send me an email, both of you guys. Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak created the first personal computer. It was the Apple, it was the Commodore. Huh? Yeah, it could be anywhere. It doesn't matter. Here is the evolution of the computer, and yes, I have to admit it. I use this guy right here. Then I use this. That time, big was awesome. The bigger your computer, the bigger your monitor, the more awesome you were. Then it started shrinking to laptops, and now the iPad. And the next one, can anybody guess what the next one would be? Huh? I mean, right now, it's still at the phone. But It might actually be your brain. They're gonna put chips in your brain. I will not allow them to do that. They're not going to find anything up here anyway. So, but here are some of the things. Hey guys, look! Investment opportunity. Invest in glass. This is the new screen. Look at this. Invest in gloves. Look at that. Okay. You guys got to just copy and paste this right here. Just copy and paste that. Okay? Data packets are actually servers. So at UCLA and MIT, they wanted a way for their professors to share documents. And instead of like putting in FedEx and shipping it over, they put it in these things called computers. But the problem is they weren't private. And so they wanted to make it as private as possible. So they used these data packets. Keep data for others to use, okay? But only certain people. So in other words, they didn't want to make copy machines, okay? They didn't want to use copiers and all that fun stuff. So this way, they can go ahead and put up a document and everyone can see. Okay, so data packets keep data together for use. Where? You can put it anywhere. It doesn't matter if it's pink or green. Okay? And then before you know it, a bunch of other schools started using data packets. Okay, we already talked about this dude. He invented the email and the use of the @ symbol. This is called Telnet. I'm not going to have you watch the video, but basically what this is just the first time ever that they use passwords. So let me write this down, please. Okay, so this is it right here. Telnet. And if you were to Google it, Telnet is the first time computers were connected from a single source. Okay, that's all you need to know. First time computers were connected from a single source. That's all you have to know. I'm going to take a pass and go. Actually, give me where it says one of those white things. What does it say here? Let me see. No, the other one. There's one right underneath the piece of paper. The other one. There. And can I have that pen, please? Who are you going to go see? Miss Lowe? What's your name? What is it? Victor? Okay, have her sign this, please. Hey, let me see. Victor, right? Yeah. There you go. Okay, that's all you got to write for this one. So, this one here, I'm not going to expect you to learn all this stuff. The only thing you really got to know about this, but TCP/IP, is that it allowed the use of passwords, username and password. Allowed the use of username and password. Okay, so you can see right here, Okay, used to also in a private computer network. Okay, so allow the use of username and password. Okay, so not everybody can access something. Okay. All right, everybody got this? The next one is called spidering, or actually gopher. Okay, this is, well, don't worry about this. Let's go with spidering, 1990s. Okay, copy and paste what's written there. Process in which search engines, okay, is search engines, go out and look for websites. Okay, that's what Google uses. They send out a program called a bot. So just copy and paste that. Okay, next, this one here, copy and paste this. Marc Andreessen, co-founder of Mosaic, okay, and founder of Netscape. He's worth billions. Okay, just copy and paste that. Okay, I know no one ever used AOL. But back then, that was a social media fun. That was a fun zone right there. Okay, chat rooms were amazing. So in 2000, social media took off. AOL, Time Warner, Facebook. That's how we can kind of chat with each other. You know, I used to chat with people from all over the world. It was fun. Met a lot of people too. Okay, social media 2000, the invention of the chat room. Oh, and here is MySpace right here. MySpace. Everybody go to myspace.com. Oh, it can't, it's blocked. At least it is for me. All right, anyways, it is what it is. All right, so this is oh, by the way, let me show you the sound of getting on the internet. This is what we heard for so long. Here it is.
If you need to record anything over the internet, I cannot think of a more seamless way than...
This was what we heard. That was it. That's what we heard. That was the sound. And when it was over, we were so thrilled because we were finally online. We had to use a phone line to get on the internet. We couldn't use, and a lot of times our friends would call and it would knock us off the internet, which ticked us off a lot. So a lot of us actually used 2 phone lines. Okay, thank you. And yeah, that's what we did. And but can you imagine doing this now? How annoyed people would be? All right. Anybody know who these guys are without having... All right, Larry Page and Sergey Brin, founders of Google. They're worth over $400 billion. And then So what I'd like to do is go ahead on your own right now. Go ahead and listen to this video right here about the future of the internet. We're up, can't be reached. Okay, maybe you want to do this a little later. Let's see if we can. Why can't we reach it? Future of the internet. Okay, let me see. We're almost done with class.
If you're a web designer, here are 4 Wix Studio features you gotta know.
Future generations. In 2014, data centers in the US were responsible for 2% of national energy consumption. But thanks to new technology, that figure won't grow significantly, even as the amount of storage facilities does. Another focal point is on speeding up the time it takes to install new capacity. This is being achieved by prefabricating new facilities off-site, cutting development time by 50%. And the next generation of data centers will use robots to make the system even more efficient.
Okay, write this down. Hold on a second.
50%. And the next generation of
The next generation of data centers will use robots to make the system even more efficient. Next generation of data centers. Okay, yes. So basically where all the information is kept. Your birthday, your family's birthday.
We're in love with rich. From 4K video to 3D to virtual reality and beyond, we're in love with rich, immersive media. As content on the internet has become more dynamic, the amount of bandwidth we consume has skyrocketed, driving innovation in delivery and storage technology. This is a look at the future of internet infrastructure. The activity you're engaged in right now, streaming a video, is driving massive growth in the amount of data that's being transferred. For perspective on how much data we're consuming, 853 1.2 megabyte 5.25 inch floppy disks, like what Oregon Trail used to come on, equals 1 gigabyte. And there are 1,000 gigabytes in the 1 terabyte hard drives many of us have in our computers. In 2016, global IP traffic passed a zettabyte for the first time. That's 1 billion terabytes. Internet video accounted for half that bandwidth. But in 2021, total world has been driven to expand their network infrastructures and initiate projects like Google Fiber, heating up the competition. As a result, installation of large capacity 100 gigabit Ethernet equipment grew 450% year over year in 2000 infrastructures and initiate projects like Google Fiber.
So we're going to go into what is known as fiber. Okay, not fiber optics, but fiber, which will basically triple the speed of the internet. Okay, because the thing that slows us down, and the thing that slows these computers here are so slow. Again, I'm trying to get them, I'm begging them to put in the new computers, but they have a mind of their own. These computers they use the old hard drives. Okay, the new computers are known as SSD. Okay, single drive. So they're not as they're like a large flash drive, and so they use a lot of fibers in the new computers. And I look forward for them to finally get here. But yeah, so right now we use cable, we use satellite. Okay, so anyways, fiber is the new thing right now. Yes. B, fiber. Okay, the next thing is going to be the development of ultra-fast 5G networks. Ultra-fast 5G networks. you'll be able to download an entire movie in less than a second. All right, does everybody reach the very last few lines? Okay, that's it, everybody. So go ahead and turn this in.